Hello everyone, welcome to Web3 Warriors. I'm your host Surya Srinivas, and this is a podcast series where I'll be interacting with people who are doing great in Web3 field, which is assumed to be the next technological revolution as compared to what internet was during back early 90s and 20s. And in today's episode, I have Yuvan with me, who's one of the co-founders of Ticket.io, which is an NFT ticketing platform which can tokenize the tickets of any events and eventually recording the proof of attendance of audience in blockchain. So let's hear it from the man himself. Welcome Yuvan, thank you for joining in.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
So NFTs, as I can understand, still have a negative connotation associated with it, as far as majority of people still believe it to be some sort of random JPEG images which are sold for very high prices, which actually covers up the potential use cases which NFTs can address because of the underlying blockchain technology, which can only be realized if any utilities are associated with it and people can actually see and feel that in their real life, which is what you are doing. So I would like to further understand what problems in ticketing industry are you trying to address, and how blockchain in the form of NFTs are trying to solve this?
Yeah, sure. So basically, we're trying to solve the problem of ticket scalping and ticket touting, which basically means someone buying a ticket and selling it for like 4 times or 5 times the price, and they're making profits out of the sale that they have made, right? But why should the middleman make money when they have contributed literally nothing to the event? So what we're trying to do is basically make the ticketing system transparent, and we want to incentivize the ticket issuer. That's basically the person who's creating tickets. Like, say for example, if it's an NBA game, it's a basketball game. The problem there is that there are bots and there are people who buy off the entire stadium in the first 1 hour, and then right before the event happens, like a day or 2 days before, the ticket prices are sold for about 10 times or 20 times the price of the original ticket, right? So this way, the middleman is making so much money out of it, and the event organizer is left with nothing because they get to make the only primary sale of the ticket. That's one problem. The second problem is that like really loyal fans, people who are like very good fans of NBA who've been following for a long time, they can't really afford it, right? Like the culture of sports is for like more of like underprivileged people, for them to get away during their weekend. Like that's how football, basketball became popular, right? Because they were working like mine workers, and then they wanted to take a break, so that every weekend, every football game would happen, so they would enjoy that, and that's how it became a culture from there. So now, like,
Exactly.
that's affecting the loyal people's, like, chances of attending an event or attending a game is going to be a problem. So that's why we thought of solving this. How we're doing is we're just tokenizing tickets, like whatever ticket that we're putting on the blockchain, that'll be as an NFT, and we're not minting an NFT in addition to a ticket. We're minting the ticket itself as an NFT on the blockchain, right? So
Okay.
the ticket issuer can see where the ticket is moving, how many sales it has happened, like where exactly it's been, what price it's at, all those details, and they get a royalty on every secondary transaction as well. So these two things are the primary thing, and the way in which we are solving it is for mass adoption. Like Book My Show or Ticketmaster, they don't really have a demographic. They don't focus on one particular audience. They focus on anybody who can buy tickets, which is basically from age of 18 to like 60, right? Everybody buys tickets on that. So why should we restrict our audience by making it only for crypto native, or like people who know how to use a public wallet, private key? Why do we complicate it? Why can't we have a smooth user experience where the transactions seem like you're doing a Book My Show, but the only advantage is that it's on the blockchain, and for the user, not much difference if you say. But if you think about it in detail, like the event organizer can make so much more money out of it. They can incentivize way more, right? So this is the value that we thought we would be adding to the ticket issuers.
Yeah, that's a great problem you're trying to address, man, because many events actually face this issue where bots actually try to buy all the tickets before fans can actually get their hands into it. So, and which blockchain are you currently deploying your smart contracts?
So we are building on Polygon, and we're not planning to go multi-chain anytime soon. It's going to be on Polygon only for now, because like what's the point, right? Like there are going to be like at least 1% or like 2% increase in number of users. Rather, what we do
Mm.
is we would, get the payment side on crypto. So we plan to integrate few bridges for crypto.
Mm.
So people can pay with different cryptocurrencies, different chains, anything that they wish. That's more efficient,
Uh,
right?
yeah, exactly. And can I know why exactly Polygon and not any other chain?
There are actually two reasons. One being the
Mm.
support of the Polygon chain is very good, like the developer and the community, just like how Ethereum
Mm.
community was. I mean, is
Mm.
also. But that's one reason. Main thing is the support that you get, because I know there are a lot of issues with RPCs and a lot of connectivity to the blockchain. The gas fees are too high sometimes, so there are a lot of issues that
Mm.
affect your DApp. And one thing that we
Yeah.
needed constantly was support. That's one thing. Second thing being development costs and developer costs. So if you
Mm.
take a Solidity developer versus a Rust developer, the development time and the development cost for Polygon with respect to Solana, which is Rust, is
Mm.
extremely low compared to like Solana. Although you're saving up gas on Solana, you're spending more on the development and the developer as well, right? So you might as well
Mm.
go to a Polygon chain where you're literally spending 1 rupee more per mint compared to Solana.
Mm.
But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, your support, your entire ecosystem is good, and ecosystem is also much larger. So it's easier for integrations and
Mm.
everything. So I mean, I was a firm believer of Ethereum, and as soon as Polygon came out as Matic, since then I've been following. So I thought, yeah, it would make sense.
Yeah, that actually makes sense. And gas fees are also one reason I can
Yeah,
believe as
correct.
compared to other chains.
Yeah,
So suppose I can just to put things more straight. So if I am
sure.
planning to host an event and do it on your platform by trying to mint tickets as NFT, so what are the steps I would be required to go through? So can you just walk me through that?
Sure. So right now, what you do is, if you want to host any event on our platform, what you do is reach out
Mm.
to us. You can go to our website. It's called Tickets. I can see it on T-shirt. ticketh.io.
Sure.
Go to that, and
Mm.
then you can go to the contact form, or my contact is there, contact email is there. Like a lot of things are there. Reach out to us.
Mm.
For now, we're not asking the user to create events themselves. What we'll do is we'll create an event on their behalf, because there are a lot of
Mm.
the requirements, like the image creative should match the description and all of those details. So once we get all of those from the event organizer, we will do it ourselves. We will create the event, and once you do that, ticket is listed on our platform, and people can
Mm.
just buy tickets from just using just their email ID, and they can pay via their UPI as well. So it's more like a smooth onboarding and smooth offboarding in terms of purchasing this ticket, right? So
Yeah.
that's what we're focusing on. And for now, like for free events that you want to host, we don't charge anything. But for paid events, we
Mm.
charge about 5 to 8% on the commission fee for each ticket. That's our
Mm.
fee. We can definitely work it out if your volume is very high. So
Mm.
yeah.
And also, what are some of the requirements for a user to have to purchase tickets or to mint NFT tickets? Because for minting NFTs, you need to have a wallet and also cryptocurrencies in it as well to pay for gas fees and also for tickets. So that is one requirement I believe one should have. But you also mentioned that people can also use fiat currencies to purchase NFTs. Which is something I'm confused. So can you just walk me through how exactly your platform works?
Yeah, I'll tell you how it works. So basically, there are two ways of doing this. One is, so what we do is, I'll tell you what we do, and I'll tell you what usually
Mm.
happens. A lot of dApps, almost like 50-60% of the dApps or even more, what they require you to do is connect your wallet, right? Which is basically a MetaMask or Wallet Connect or Trust Wallet,
Mm.
whatever wallet that you have. And
Yeah.
these wallets are non-custodial wallets, which mean for a wallet that you create, the user stores the seed phrase of it, like 12 words or 24 words. They store it, and they
Mm.
have to understand how a wallet functions. In order for a
Mm.
person to understand how wallet functions, they will have to understand blockchain, right? So
Yeah.
this complicates the user journey of them onboarding onto Web3. So what we do is we use some software provider. They're a third-party solution, which what they do is they create a wallet for every email ID the user logs in with, and this is a
Mm.
custodial wallet, right? And we don't
Mm.
have the keys for it. It's not like we have control over the wallet. We create it on
Mm.
their behalf, and we don't reveal the keys. Okay,
Okay.
which is basically, keys are basically a password in like the blockchain terms or like wallet terms. So what happens
Mm.
is and the key is not, a password is not revealed. And once the user has enough knowledge about Web3 crypto, when they feel like they need to take full custody of that wallet and own the entire thing, then they can just click one button called take custody, and they can take the custody
Mm.
of the wallet onto their account as well. So this
Okay.
is what we do. This is in terms of logging in. So every email is mapped to one address, and the same email
Mm.
logs in, the same address is picked up and fetched to that email ID. That's how it works. And this is for onboarding. And for same way for payments, we have an on-ramp payment partner where what the company does is they accept payments in fiat from the user, and they send
Mm.
us, right? So they use a huge liquidity pool, which is either public or private, or like, it's a cooperated thing. But whatever they do, is that's an entire, like, product by itself, which we integrate.
Mm.
So it's more like razor pay for Web3. Like that's exactly what
Okay.
they do.
Yeah, that's great, man. Because users generally who wants to get into Web3 face the complexity of wallets and other
Yep.
stuff. So you're just trying to
Yep.
eliminate that. That's quite commendable. And I was just quite curious to know, how did you get into Web3? So what was your background, and what happened that you stepped into Web3?
Okay, I actually got into Web3 in 2020 or late 2019ish, like when the crypto bull run was happening in India. Like that's when I also got into it. So I started off as an
Mm.
investor first. Like I didn't know really much about crypto. So I just started investing into coins to just observe the market, because I've been observing
Mm.
and hearing Bitcoin and Ethereum for like a long time, but I didn't really know
Yeah.
what exactly it was and how to get that and how to like reach out to that, or like purchase that
Mm.
basically. So what I did was I like invested in a few coins like Polkadot, Cardano, Dogecoin, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polygon, like whatever was all the blue chip, and
Mm.
it's all small investments that you put in. And once you put in, I
Mm.
just saw how it fluctuates, started learning about it, did some courses, learned Ethereum, and then learned development, and then learned everything like
Mm.
the reverse way. And
Mm.
like then we faced the problem ourselves, and we thought, okay, let's give it a shot, let's try solving this problem. So that's what
Mm.
we're actually doing now. We're just building a product out to just test those things out.
Yeah, that's great. And what roadmap did you follow to learn the skills of Web3? So, if someone who is wanting to shift from Web2 to Web3, and what do you suggest based on your experience?
uh, if you want to become a Web3 developer, I'd say first learn with full stack development. That could either be like
Mm.
any kind of JS framework like React, Angular, Next, doesn't matter what it is. Learn some JS framework, and then learn a little bit of
Mm.
backend, and then you can move on to Web3 development pretty easily. Like there's not much difference. Like every decentralized
Mm.
application has only 5% of the Web3 development part. It's 95%
Mm.
full stack development, right? It's going to be the same
Mm.
thing.
Yeah.
Instead of your backend, instead of you storing it on a cloud, you'll just be storing it on, like, transactions will be on the blockchain. People don't understand this.
Yeah.
Everybody thinks everything's built on the blockchain, but no, it's 95% of the same thing. Uh,
Mm.
but yeah, that's from a developer's perspective. If you just want to learn Web3 and learn like blockchain, I think like YouTube
Mm.
is the best. Like I learned it through YouTube and Coursera. Coursera was
Mm.
because I wanted to get into the fundamentals in depth, like for example, like Bitcoin uses SHA-256 algorithm, right? So it
Mm.
depends. I wanted to know what exactly was happening with each chain in the fundamentals. That's why I picked up a little more detailed course. But I mean, it's
Mm.
not really required. You can still get that knowledge from YouTube. So I mean, it's
Okay.
just basics of blockchain, and then you slowly move into like different playlists and just explore YouTube. That's it.
Mm. Yeah, and that's quite commendable, because not many of them actually try to do something apart from the academics, as far as I've observed. So that's why very less number of people are into Web3 right now. And
Yeah, that's
and also I was quite curious to know, how did you meet your co-founders? Because it is always very important for anyone to be in a team. As one of the co-founders of LinkedIn, who is Reid Hoffman, also says that no matter how skillful you are, you will eventually lose out to a team if you're alone. So on that note, I was quite interested to know, how did you find people whose interest and motives aligned with that of yours?
Yeah, sure. So my co-founders are basically like my classmates from college right now. So one person is my classmate from college. We were in the same
Mm.
class for like 4 years, and the other co-founder is basically my my friend's neighbor. and we used to
Mm.
hang out together and like spend more time together during lockdown and everything. So that's how I also
Mm.
got into blockchain. They were also very interested in blockchain. They were building something around it. So we thought, why not? Let's do something together. We have some synergies here. So that's how it started off. But yeah.
Okay. And yeah, like it's pretty fortunate to find people who have the same interest and wanting to
Yeah.
do something what you want to as well. So
Yeah.
that's a quite fortunate thing to happen. And how do you sort out if there are any difference of opinions in terms of what needs to happen and all? So,
Uh, I mean that does happen. A lot of people, like a lot of things can't always be good. Like obviously there are like disagreements and people, you want to do what you feel and like things like that. But it's more about what benefits the product and what benefits the growth of the company, right? Nobody
mm,
cares about their own personal development. As far as the product is building or like the company is getting more business or more revenue, whatever favors that, I think that will be prioritized. So that's always the number one priority to give the
mm,
product or like startup the highest priority for the decision.
yeah, and that's quite how the way to go, I believe, as well. And
Mhm.
also, you have been selected as an Antler Fellow, I believe. So, can you just walk me through what exactly that is?
Yeah, sure. So Antler India Fellowship is a 16-week accelerator program where they take up founders. So I was in the 2021 cohort, and
Mm,
this is a program where they take graduates, people who graduate after 2020. It's only for students. And when
mm,
I applied, there were about like 2,500 applications, and
mm,
we were the top eight teams to get one of the top eight teams to get selected, and we get a grant from them as well, an equity free grant. With that grant, we can build out whatever we want, and that's completely up to us. And then later we have a round to pitch for Antler, they have the pre-seed round as well. So that's something
mm.
which we are planning to do in February and March.
So, if you don't mind, can you share what's the grant range about?
Yeah, so the grant was about $20,000, and
Mm,
then uh, there are different couple of grants as well that we got from ETH India, from different product
mm,
integrations. So like Unstoppable, and then you have Arcana, and there are a lot of different
mm,
products that when you're integrating with your own product, they give grants in the Web3 space. So it's more about
mm,
you trying to push until you're fundraising, and just get
mm.
everything set up, basics and all of the structure set up. So as soon as you do the fundraising, you can grow like on a exponential scale.
Yeah, that's great. So, Antler, is it only for Web3 or generally for any startups?
Yeah, so Antler actually, they picked, or the 8 teams they picked up, there were 3 Web3 teams and then 5 normal
Mm,
teams. So they pick up from various spaces. So for like medical, like
okay.
distribution in terms of farmers' needs, and then there was fashion, and then there was creator economy. So we had DeFi,
Mm,
NFT. There was one liquidator, like which is basically DeFi, like you had a liquidator, and a lot of other things also we had. Um, yeah, it's just like they were diversifying their like kind of like portfolio for the fellowship as well. So that's what
mm,
they did, and it's like a Singapore-based firm, so they are extremely interested in like Web3, but yeah, they
mm.
focus on normal Web2 SaaS as well.
Okay. And yeah, man, like we have reached the end of our conversation. Thank you for being honest in whatever you could share, and all the best for your future endeavors. It was really pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good luck to you too.